I promise this is the last video I'm going to do on anything related to fragrance trails. So about 2 weeks ago I did a video called Top 20 Fragrances That Leave the Sexiest Trail. Most of the fragrances there were unisex. A lot of you requested that I do a designer men's version of that fragrance video, which I did last weekend. But today, a lot of you were also requesting that I do one for the ladies. So even though I don't have too many ladies targeted fragrances, I have over 20, but I thought I'd do a top 10 with the fragrances that I know that leave an amazing trail. So today, I've got my top 10 feminine fragrances that leave the sexiest trail video. So if you're curious to find out what they are, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Yes, what is the trail? What is sillage? Basically, it's when you're wearing a fragrance, you're projecting your fragrance off of you, and you leave the room, and people can smell that somebody with a fragrance had just come to that room. The best example is if you walk into an elevator and somebody was wearing a really strong fragrance, and they left their fragrance in that elevator, and that's kind of the similar idea. So a lot of these fragrances have great trails, some stronger than others, and I've ranked them in a way that I really think that they have really great trails. Even like they project really nicely off of you. So I'm going to rank them for you today, and there's 10 with one honorable mention. There's a few classics, there's a lot of moderns, there's some niche, there's some designers, so I'm covering it all because I want to do this, and a lot of you ladies are asking for it, and I didn't want to leave you out anyways. But before I get to the fragrances, if this is your first time tuning into my channel and you still haven't subscribed, please do click the subscribe button below, and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos. And how many of you really enjoy this idea of the trail? So let's say, for example, you walk into an elevator and you smell somebody's fragrance in there. How many of you had that experience? How many enjoy that actual experience? Let me know, put a comment down so I can find out. But I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the list and start off with a classic dating back to the 70s that I still think is an excellent fragrance that leaves a great trail. And this is one of my very first scent memories of a lady wearing it with their scent trail. This is Clinique's Aromatics Elixir. And what I like about this one is it's patchouli and oakmoss, so it has a lingering quality, and when all the other notes in the fragrance are kind of like worn off, you can still smell that oakmoss and patchouli when somebody passes by you and they're wearing this fragrance. So I really like that idea about this fragrance. It's a classic. It might seem a little mature for younger noses, but if you like oakmoss and patchouli, you should definitely try this one. Typically sold at the Clinique counter at Macy's and places like that, so it's a very, very popular fragrance. Yes, it is mature and they have flankers of it, but the original is amazing. I have a video of this on the channel with Dahlia, and we're comparing it to another fragrance from the same parent company that smells somewhat similar, but a male targeted fragrance. So go catch that video, just type in Clinique Aromatics Elixir. Anyway, honorable mention, Clinique Aromatics Elixir. We're gonna jump right to number 10. It's Creed's AVENTUS for Her. So I put this at number 10 because I feel like it's the lightest trail, but I really love the smell. It's a great, great smell, and I love walking into a cloud of someone's trail when I'm smelling this fragrance. What I like about it is it's the fruitiness and the muskiness. It's lots of green apple note, lots of musk with other fruits like black currant. There's some juicy bergamot, peach, rose, sandalwood, and patchouli. The combination is very, very intoxicating, but again, it's the lightest one, and because it's fruits and citruses and all that good stuff, it doesn't have too much of a lingering quality with the trail, but you know, when it's fairly new, it smells really, really fantastic, and I really love it. So AVENTUS for Her at number 10. Next, going to the house of HERMES, it's TWILLY de HERMES, this one right here. I really love this one, really, really do, and it's very, very unisex. In fact, all these fragrances are fairly unisex. Even Creed's AVENTUS for Her, men can totally pull it off. But this one is Tuberose, Sandalwood, Ginger, Orange Blossom, and Jasmine. It's a really delicious, creamy, white floral experience. Again, I'm ranking this in a way that how strong they are and all that good stuff. So this one ended up at number 9 because of its potency, I guess I should say. but the smell is fantastic. The combination of tuberose with sandalwood is top notch. It's a great connection because I've always thought that a lot of these white flowers like tuberose, jasmine, gardenias, they have a creamy quality, so it blends well with that creamy sandalwood that's in the base here. It's really, really fantastic. Really, really great trail, and I love the way it smells. It's very, very sexy. So that's Hermes, Twilly de Hermes. A wonderful fragrance. If you don't know it, do check that one out. So I wanted to rank this at number 8, a little higher up, but in the end when I was doing the testing to put this video together, it ended up here, and I thought originally it might end up as closer to the top. This is Burberry's Her, this one right here. Right there. So this one has that whole Baccarat Rouge thing, and it's created by the same perfumer who did Baccarat Rouge, Francis Kurkdjian. But you know what I think about this one? By the time it gets to the part that I feel like it smells like Baccarat Rouge, it's kind of getting faint, because what you're smelling at the top and the heart, lots of fruits. It's all about fruits. So it's strawberries, oak moss, raspberry, blackberry, musk, vanilla, cashmeran, and woods. Lots of woodsy notes, but that's mostly in the base. The fruits pretty much overpower at the top and the heart notes, and you're experiencing a lot of fruits. I don't love it as much as I love Baccarat Rouge. The fruits are kind of clunky, like you're doing a lot of fruits, then it goes into that Baccarat Rouge kind of thing. It's not meant to be a Baccarat Rouge replacement to me anyway, but it's there. You can kind of pick that up. So it's a sexy scent. Don't get me wrong, because the fruits and all those kind of like Baccarat Rougey, like oak moss, saffron, and ambroxan thing is there. But in the end, it's a lot of fruits. It's a very, very sexy trail, and I really, really do enjoy the fragrance. It's definitely not identical to Baccarat Rouge, and I prefer that fragrance over this, if that makes sense. So that's Burberry Her from the House of Burberry. Next, going to AMOUAGE. We have 2 ladies targeted AMOUAGE fragrances, and they're very, very unisex to me. First one is AMOUAGE Lilac Love. What a delicious fragrance this is. Here we have a floral, powdery fragrance with loads of lilac, loads of heliotrope, and cacao. I never in a million years thought that you can combine gourmand with flowers, and it's totally done. First experienced it with the rose and milkiness of the coffee in Intense Cafe, then I really experienced it wonderfully here. So lilac, cacao, heliotrope, vanilla, patchouli, tonka beans, orris, sandalwood, and gardenia. It's a very, very delicious concoction. Those of you that love gourmand notes and flowers or floral notes like the white flowers and lilacs and things like that definitely need this one. And it's a strong fragrance. It has great longevity, great trail, great projection, and it's a very, very sexy concoction. I really love it. I could smell this fragrance any day on someone. It's that fantastic. But I think the other fragrances that are coming after this are a little stronger with the trail, so that's why I've ranked it a little lower. So that's AMOUAGE Lilac Love. In the male version of the video, I included this male version of this fragrance from Tom Ford. This is Tom Ford's Noir Femme, and then I added the Noir Extreme in the male version. Both of them have great sexy trails, but this one, as I mentioned in the previous video, you can both men and women can wear either one. I mean, there's not that many differences. It's just the fact that this one has a little bit of floral touches in addition to that fragrance, the male version of this fragrance. So this is coffee, vanilla, amber, sandalwood, mastic resin, orange blossom, jasmine, ginger, and bitter orange. But it's very, very sexy. If you don't know this one, do check it out. And the trail is great. I have 2 Tom Ford fragrances in this video, and I really love both men and woman version. If I want a little more floral touch, I would wear the feminine version, and if I want a little more masculine touch, which I feel like is a very unisex fragrance, I'd go with the men's version. But if you like it gourmandish, kind of vanillic, pistachio nutty, ice creamy kind of floral touches, then Tom Ford's Noir Femme is definitely one for you to try. So as I mentioned, I'm doing both niche and designer fragrances, and the thing I didn't mention at the top is that I have a tie at number 1. But right now we're going to a niche house of Parfums de Marly, and this is Delina right here. So Delina is fruits, but I love this one a lot more than the fruits in Baccarat Rouge. Something about the fruits in here kind of sort of reminds me of Intense Cafe. There's a milkiness about it, but still has rose. This also has peony, lychee fruit, rhubarb, Cashmeran, Petalia, Musk, Vanilla, Vetiver, Cedar, and Bergamot. Very, very sexy fragrance. A really, really delicious concoction. I love the combination of, like I said, all the fruits. And the fruits here smell really, really expensive in comparison to Burberry here. I don't want to say that loudly, but it does seem a little more quality notes in comparison to the notes in Burberry Her. Makes sense? It is a more pricey fragrance, obviously, in comparison to Burberry Her, so they are using the higher quality ingredients to create this fragrance. And it's a very, very sexy fragrance. I love it. I love it on women. It smells fantastic on women, and I love the trail it leaves behind. And that's Delina from the house of Parfums de Marly. If you don't know this fragrance, definitely do, but I have given a bottle of this to my mom, and she really loves it too. It smells great on her too. So I've given a lot of fragrances that are in this video to my mom. The next one I have not, but the one after that I have. This next one is a fragrance from the house of AMOUAGE. Going back to AMOUAGE, it's Portrayal Woman. So if you don't know Portrayal Woman, you gotta try it. It's also a very, very unisex concoction. Once again, I feel like the AMOUAGE fragrances are gender-bending fragrances. Both men and women can wear either one, even though one is, you know, Portrayal Man versus Portrayal Woman kind of thing. In this fragrance, it's not similar at all to Portrayal Man. This is completely different. It utilizes lots of jasmine, although for me, the jasmine smells like gardenias, but it is nicely mixed with tobacco. Lots of tobacco in this one. So when you're having this like ultra white flower note that's like intense, nicely blended with the tobacco, so you're having a tobacco jasmine experience, which is really, really sexy. Add some LME resin and vanilla, you have one top-notch fragrance. This has actually become my favorite feminine fragrance next to Lilac Love from AMOUAGE. It smells really, really good, and it's very, very unisex. Again, if you're shy of wearing jasmine note, but you want to kind of like dabble in it, you want to experience it and go with something that might be easier to wear than full-on jasmine. This is if you are a man, by the way. Wear something like this, because the tobacco tones down the jasmine qualities and it makes it very, very sexy. I've mentioned in the last couple of videos that I'm talking about the sexy trail, that tobacco is a very, very sexy note to me, and here it's really full on and in your face along with the jasmine. So that's AMOUAGE Portrayal Woman. I really, really love that one. Go into the house of Cartier, and this is another fragrance I have given to my mom, and she really loves it. I've given it to her because she loves Angel. This is Le Baiser du Dragon. So here we have the almondy patchouli experience, but lots of vetiver with almond liqueur, amaretto, bitter almonds, patchouli, benzoin, amber, cedar, caramel, dark chocolate, iris, and cedar. What a concoction this is. This is created by Alberto Morillas in the early 2000s, and I love it. It's really, really delicious and very, very sexy, the entire combination. I feel like Alberto Morillas was trying to do a different take on Angel, because the patchouli is really prominent in here, and that's what I like about this fragrance. I just love that patchouli note, but it really, really nicely connects with the bitterness of the bitter almonds and the booziness of the amaretto, the almond liqueur. It's fantastic, and the trail is big. It's a big fragrance. Yeah, it's a big fragrance experience, easy on the trigger, but a fantastically sexy fragrance experience. So that's Le Baiser du Dragon from the house of Cartier. As I said, I have a tie at number 1, and this is the second to the last. This is number 2, and going to the house of Tom Ford again. I haven't spoken much about this fragrance, but I'm obsessed with the trail. It is really, really sexy. It is Orchid Soleil from the house of Tom Ford. What I like about this one is that there is a really, really prominent lily note. It's nicely contrasted with the tuberose. 2 white flowers. There's lots of whipped cream, so it's creamy and like a gourmandish. There's chestnut in here as well, which adds a slight nuttiness to the fragrance. Vanilla, orchid, patchouli, cypress, pink pepper. In the end, it's very, very sexy. Slightly goes into a suntan lotion direction. Slightly goes into that whole lily kind of thing direction. Lilies are really, really beautiful Easter flowers for me, because I grew up with them during Easter time. And just the whole idea that it's gourmand, it's like white flowers, it's what do you call it? It's like almost suntan lotion, because it's like in the background I feel like there's like a suntan lotion-y, coconutty thing happening back there. But in the end, it's really, really sexy. What a sexy scent this is. Tom Ford does really good sexy fragrances, and this is definitely one of them. I would have added something like Black Orchid, but I found this one to be a little sexier than Tom Ford's Black Orchid. And since I already have one other one, I left that one off. But this is Tom Ford's Orchid Soleil. If you don't know it, do check it out. I think it's very, very sexy. And last but not least, at a tie, I am going to do this here as a tie. An Angel from the house of Mugler, Coco Mademoiselle. Both of these, very, very sexy trail. Amazing trail. Both of them have lots of patchouli. there it is with the patchouli. I find patchouli to be sexy. And both of them, as I said, if all the notes are like dried away, evaporated, and kind of like left off of your skin, the patchouli still lingers on. And when you're moving around, I could still smell it, because that's what I find very, very sexy. That trail of the patchouli. Both of these have it. Both of these are amazing, sexy trails. And I've smelled both of these so much, so much. Angel a little more than this, but both of them I have given to my mom because I find them to be very, very excellent ladies fragrances. And the trail is phenomenal. It's a very, very sexy trail. It's just like you smell it, you can smell it down the hall. People have left it behind. Ladies have left it behind. Ladies have left it in the elevator, and I'm like, wow, that smells fantastic. Really, really sexy scent. Really, really sexy trail. Anyway, if you guys don't know these fragrances, I don't know where you've been hiding, but if you love a sexy trail, definitely check these out. This one dates back to 1992, so it is a little on the mature side, but it has multiple flankers to it. Even now they have Angel Nova, which I haven't sampled yet. And then this one I think is the late 90s or early 2000s, so it's been around for a while as well, but they don't go out of style for me. They're fantastically sexy fragrances, and they definitely leave a sexy trail. Anyway, that is Angel by Mugler, and this is Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. Alright guys, this is the last video, as I said, I'll be doing on the sexy trail the fragrances leave behind. So today's video obviously is feminine targeted fragrances. Let me know if you're fans of these fragrances. Let me know if you like them or have them or wear them. Also, let me know some additional feminine fragrances that you find that leave a sexy trail. I'd like to, you know, check into more. Of course, as I said, I have several more fragrances. I probably have about 30 feminine targeted fragrances. Some are from the niche houses that are feminine leaning but more unisex targeted. So I decided to do a top 10 with that one honorable mention, and of course the tie at #1 with these two. So in basically I'm basically giving you 12 fragrances today. But let me know some more fragrances that are targeted to ladies that have, you know, this sexiness about them, and that leaves a sexy trail behind. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Otherwise, please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.